people live in many parts of the Middle East, incorporating a number of beliefs and traditions from other Abrahamic faiths. For more details, I've been speaking to Makram Rabah, who's Assistant Professor of History at the American University in Beirut.
To talk about the Druze, we are talking about a small ethno-religious minority which belongs to the Muslim sect in a way. However, these are what we call heterodox Muslims. They have their own sets of beliefs, but they do subscribe to Islam in general. The majority of the Druze occupy three different countries, and here we're talking about Lebanon, where they are originally from, Syria, as well as Palestine and Israel. The people of Majdal who were targeted over the weekend technically belong to Syria. They are Syrian citizens. However, the tribal nature of the Druze makes them a kind of one tribe which suffers and celebrates life together. So the people of the region and the Druze in particular have all rushed to the aid of their brethren in the Golan. And this is why, over time, the Druze have played a very important role in the nation building, be it in Lebanon, Syria, or even in Israel. The Druze are very much connected to their lands. Even the people who were willing to collaborate and become part of the Israeli government, they were only interested in keeping their land and keeping their presence. So their connection to their country has to do with their land. And this is why the people of the Golan have refused to become Israeli citizens, and they have, in a way, combated different ways of trying to indoctrinate them into the Israeli state. It's very important to understand that the Druze are a kind of a survivor sect. And over time, they have learned how to roll with the punches and how to be very pragmatic when it comes to approaching politics and the struggle of empires. At the moment when Iran and the West are fighting over power, I think the Druze are very much aware of the fact that them being a small minority group, they might pay the ultimate price. And this is why they're very anxious and very careful not to commit any type of political suicide.
Given this terrible attack at the weekend, 12 children, young people killed, how will the community now be feeling? Will they want to try and seek some sort of justice? We know Hezbollah have said it's not them, but the Israelis are saying that it is and that they plan to punish them for it.
Well, we need to be realistic. There's no way of achieving justice, especially with Iran, because at the end of the day, even the idea of actually proposing that Iran might be behind it would cause a kind of a civil war. Or particularly, the most important part the Druze want to avoid is direct confrontation, be it with Israel or with Iran. And this is why what they want to achieve basically is to keep reminding people that these 12 or even 13 children who lost their lives on the soccer pitch needs to be a reminder that continuing to try to normalize Iran and its militias across the region can only bring more and more devastation to the minority groups. I don't think that a punitive strike that Israel intends to do would be enough to unleash the total war. But at the same time, what has happened recently has proven that Israel doesn't really need to physically hit Beirut airport. It could only send a message to the international carriers and the international airlines to isolate Lebanon. Unfortunately, betting that this will continue to be a kind of a limited military exercise would only make things worse and worse, because gradually Lebanon's economic situation and Lebanon's isolation could only bode negatively on the country and its future.
Professor Makram Rabah there from the American University in Beirut. Some sad news now from the